Hello. Uh, it's been a while since I made a ham radio video, but I'm gonna do it. Um, so yeah. Um, Hello to all my ham radio friends. This video is for you. If you're not a ham radio operator, this may not appeal to you very much. So if you press stop now, I won't be offended at all. Again, this is going to be for my ham radio friends out there. Um, okay, so um, I wanted to say thank you to W9FFF, Hamradio Dude, up there near Chicagoland. Thank you. You made an excellent video about the UV-5X or UV-5G, the GMRS variant of the UV-5R. Um, Excellent video, sir. Really, I tip my hat to you. Congratulations. That was a great video. Very impressed. Very impressed. And yes, I did do your what you were showing and depicting in that video, and yeah, it does work. It works completely. A little complicated, but not maybe not so much for like me or you or those of us that are really technical. If you're a ham radio operator, you're probably pretty technical speaking. Um, I wanted to draw your attention to certain two other um, possibilities that are within that same realm, kind of. I hope you don't mind this. But I'm also going to talk to my other ham radio friends out there who may be scratching their head thinking, wait a minute, why would you modify a UV5X or UV5G to communicate on the ham bands? You might be finding yourself asking that question. Well, there is a really, really good reason for wanting to do that. And the reason lies in travel or portability, traveling ability, should I say. You know, when we go to ham fests, when we go to flea markets, when we go to hamventions or what have you, field day events, we really don't want to carry around a whole bunch of radios. We don't really want to be, weighted down by carrying too many radios. And by modifying this radio to be used on the ham band, you're giving this radio a dual function, a dual service compatibility. It is fully approved and certified for GMRS. And one thing that ham radio operators like to do is they like to tinker with stuff. They like to modify. They like to change. They like to test things. They like to see if you can get more out of what you've already got. And that's exactly what this is. This is exactly what Hamradio Dude did. He modified this radio to be used on the ham band, even though it was designed for GMRS. Again, you might say, why not just go get a UV-5R or a similar radio? Well, that would mean introducing another radio when you could just go and get this radio, and as a ham radio operator and a GMRS operator, you could tinker with it and modify it for both. One radio, two services. Now do you see the utility? Now do you see the purpose? Is it starting to sink in? Dude, awesome. So, just very quick, for those of you who don't watch or follow my channel a lot, I've been a ham radio operator since 1992. Wowzers, that's 29 years. 29 years as a ham radio operator. Wow. And I've been a GMRS operator for 15 years. So yeah, I definitely understand the value in being able to carry just one radio for multiple services. And this is an excellent thing because you can't put the shoe on the other foot. In other words, the UV-5R cannot actually legally be used for GMRS operations. This radio was certified and authorized for GMRS, but we ham radio operators have a lot of flexibility. Again, we like to tinker, we like to modify, we like to play with, and the FCC gives us that ability through our licenses. We have that ability to tinker, to play with, to modify, to use radios on ham radio bands that maybe weren't necessarily intended for ham radio. But the reverse is not true. The UV-5R doesn't even need type certification. Technically speaking, the FCC would like for every single ham radio device to be Part 15 type accepted, so it does not cause interference to ordinary consumer electronics. The FCC would like to cross the board have every piece of electronics be Part 15 type accepted if they emit radio emissions. But yeah, there's no such thing as type certified radios for ham radio, in case you didn't know that. I think there's a lot of misinformation in the ham radio community. There's a lot of people that don't understand it. Yeah, there's no such thing as a type accepted ham radio. It doesn't exist. Part 97 does not require it. But the FCC would like for our UV-5Rs and other Baofeng radios to be at least Part 15 type accepted, at least. Minimum compliance, so the consumer electronics and the public are protected. It's the least that they could do. But anyway, so yeah, ham radio dude, right on, man, right on. So with that in mind, I wanted to present to you some more options. You came up with this idea. I wanted to show you something that I did. Now, with another type of radio. Well, it's a GMRS radio. It's the Wushan. What is it? Oh, if I can get it into the camera view there. You see it? No. Well, anyway, this is the KG805G radio, and this is the KG805M. This is the GMRS radio. This is the MURS radio. So Wushan, KG805M and G. These radios are purposed for their bands. They are monoband super heterodyne transceivers. Yes, monoband super heterodyne transceivers. So yes, they are super heterodyne, dual conversion. They're really nice radios. They're 128 channel apiece, just like the UV-5X. This one is designed for GMRS. This one's designed for MURS. Now, a little trick with these radios is that the intended software, which Wushan wants you to use, severely limits what these radios can do. And if you're not a ham radio operator, it should limit what these radios can do. But there's a little something you should know. There is a older piece of software on the Wushan website. And let me see if I can find it on my desktop here so I can point out the name of the software. Oh, geez. Bear with me just for a second. Why is it blinking? Oh well. Okay, the software in question is called the KG801E703E software. Go to the Wushan, forgive me, I'm probably crucifying it, but forgive me. KG801E703E download software. Grab that software package. If you have either of these two radios, or if you have, you can also get the KG805F, which is the FRS equivalent, but I don't know if that's worth it. It may or may not. It depends upon what you consider to be important. But it definitely is nice for the GMRS radio, and it's very helpful for the MURS radio because this is a VHF only monobander. Again, both of these radios, and including the 805F is also a super heterodyne monobander. So, yeah. Install the 801E703E software package onto your computer. Get these radios. Standard Kenwood basic plug or Baofeng plug. And the software allows ham radio operators to use these radios outside of their intended band of operation. So the 805G can be used on 440, and the 128 channels can be a mixture of GMRS simplex, GMRS repeaters with different tones on the same repeater frequencies, and 440 ham frequencies. And you can do the same with the 805M, KG805M radio. Same software package, put it on here, and you can put in 2-meter frequencies, you can put in 2-meter repeaters, simplex channels, you can program in anything, the weather channel, you know, whatever your local weather channel is, or you can put all 7 frequencies in. Just don't transmit on the weather channels. So this was an idea that I did. I didn't come up with the idea. I saw it indicated that the 801E and 703E software works with the radios, and oh my, this was before when these 805 radios came out. They hadn't yet posted a software package on the website. That was when I bought these. So I was looking for software to to use these radios, and that was when I found the 801E703E software. Wushan has come out with an official package for these radios now, a software package, but they are severely restricted. And for us ham radio operators, yeah, you might want to steer clear of it and use the 801E703E software, and that way you can get the most out of these two radios. And even the KG805F. I don't have the KG805F, but I'm sure it works because it's basically the same radio, essentially, with the restrictions of the FRS frequencies only. And you can probably do exactly the same thing with the same software and get away with it as a ham radio operator, you know. One more suggestion. I don't know if you know about this radio. I don't think most people even know these radios exist. Okay, so this is the Retevis RT10. This is a very unique radio. It is a monobander. I believe it is super heterodyne, dual conversion, but it only does one band. It does 900 megahertz, 902 to 928 megahertz. That's what this radio does. It puts out 1 watt. It was intended for the ISM band, the 900 megahertz ISM band, 1 watt. The radio has 2 modes, analog voice and DMR. But there is nothing that says that this cannot be used. There's nothing that says that this cannot be used for ham radio purposes because it covers the entire 900 megahertz ham band. And you can do analog voice and you can do DMR. It's a really fascinating radio. Again, it's called the Retevis RT10. Again, non-hams can use it. Security companies can use it for their communications. You know, basically anywhere where two-way radios are needed. The intent of this was to be used license-free. 1 watt ISM band. That's why the power output is capped at 1 watt, to keep it legal within the band. But there's no reason in the world why ham radio operators cannot use this radio for 900 megahertz simplex and 900 megahertz repeaters. So yeah, and it does DMR. So you could set up a DMR 900 megahertz repeater with this, or just do DMR digital voice simplex with this radio. Now, I should tell you that if this radio does have the ability to encrypt its own communications, naturally we can't use that on ham radio. We can't use the encryption features, of course. Every ham knows this. But if you use this out, you know, in the regular ISM band location, and you don't use it on the defined, you know, ham radio, because, you know, ham radio has secondary access to this band. But yeah, it does have encryption capabilities too. The encryption only applies to the digital DMR mode. It does not apply to the analog voice. So yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to present these 2 other options. Hamradio Dude, you really made my day, dude. And I was very inspired to just, you know, put this out here. And again, this is the RT10 by Retevis, the RT10.
Power on. Zone 8. 4. Please charge the battery.
Whoops. So yeah, it tells you what zone you're in, it tells you what channel you're on, and it'll tell you also your battery is running low. It won't bother you if the battery's fine. I guess I better charge this. But yeah, I think I've had this for a while. I think these RT10s are sold in pairs. I think. I'm not 100% positive on that. So I'm not going to place a wager on it. But yeah. So yeah, these RT10s can be used by hams on the 900 megahertz band. And they can be used by non-hams too. But yeah, if you have these KG805s, any one of the three models, I mean, download that software, that KG801E and 703E software package. That's the package that will allow you to fully open up these radios and get the most out of them. Definitely do that. It's just a suggestion. You do not have to do it if you do not wish, but it is a suggestion that I put forth to the entire ham radio community. Okay, with that in mind, I guess that's a wrap. So, 73 from N0 VKG. Bye for now.